It's a really hot day out in London and I'm enjoying the shade of this ginkgo tree that we planted over 20 years ago. We're asking people today what they think about trees in cities and how they help keep us cool. How are you feeling today? It's a hot day in London.
I feel very grateful for the shade of this tree, actually, genuinely.
I'm not really used to this level of heat, so it's a lot cooler where we are. But the sort of mugginess, really, of London, I guess, because the quantity of people and buildings and, I'm used to more fresh air and trees and nature and things, so it's definitely noticeable when I come into the city, for sure.
I'm coping all right. I'm walking under the shade of these trees. That's probably a huge part of this park. I actually run in the park a lot around this kind of track here and the whole circuit of the park. So I guess these trees keep me cool and keep me going.
So you appreciate trees then?
Love trees. Love them, especially fruit trees.
Do not like being in the sun for too long, so the trees offer a little bit of relief. Yeah.
Did you know that trees help cool the air in cities but also in more rural areas?
Absolutely, yes. And I know how they do it as well. I remember my biology from, or was it geography? It was one of the lessons at school anyway, but I do remember that, yeah. So as they draw water up from the soil, and they perspire effectively through the leaves, that evaporative effect produces cooling for everyone else.
Because of the fact that we are burning fuels and the fact that our buildings retain heat so that there's not as much circulation. Where we come from in the country, on a weekly basis, it's usually 3 or 4 degrees cooler than in London. So we notice it every time we come here.
We had a massive heat wave a couple of years ago and the ground was scorched and it was horrible, and then if you take the trees out of that situation, probably wouldn't be as enjoyable to come to. The ground would be very hard, be less people around, less sport going on, there'd be no relief.
So we're going to do an activity, if you're up for it, where we measure the difference in land surface temperature under the shade and not under the shade. Okay.
21.8.
What do you think the difference is going to be when we're not under
I'm
the
going to
tree?
make a guess that it might go up by, I'm going to go for 5 degrees.
5 degrees, okay.
5 degrees, yeah.
Let's see.
30.6.
Wow.
So it's a significant
So that's
temperature.
9 degrees
Yeah,
in
exactly.
difference, even with the cloud cover.
Exactly, so even more if the sun was out.
So it's 30.8 in the sun. So
Okay.
7 degrees difference.
7 degrees difference.
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's quite
Amazing.
something, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So that is 2022. Oh wow, it's 27.4.
Right.
Wow, that's huge.
Yeah. Is that more than you're expecting?
Yeah, much more than I was expecting. Well, I thought it would be like a degree.
Yeah.
But yeah,
There you go.
so it's a huge amount.
Do you think we should plant more trees in cities?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it seems like a bit of a no-brainer, really.
Yeah.
Like, there's only positives, I think.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yes.
Yeah. I think we need to plant more trees everywhere.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I would fully support that for many reasons. One, for heat, but well-being, for smells, for senses, for everything that keeps us going.